Hello. The subject of this video is going to be on Venus and Libra. So, Venus in astrology symbolizes how we interpersonally relate with one another. It is the aura that we present when we are getting intimately close with somebody, whether friendship or relationship. It's also what we ultimately value when we go about goals. What do we ultimately want to obtain in those goals? What do we ultimately value most in life? Now, the way that astrology organizes energy is by using the four elements. Fire symbolizes self-actualization and initiation of action, leadership as well. Water symbolizes spirituality, emotional connection, and intimacy that we achieve emotionally when we're really getting close to someone romantically. Earth symbolizes structure. It symbolizes the security that we obtain when we have went about building a structure, growth, roles that we display to one another in the hierarchy of those roles. And then we're going to have air, which air is going to be community, networking, intelligence, and friendship. So we go about understanding Venus and Libra. We are understanding Venus in an air sign. This means that they ultimately value most in life mentality, logic, having a philosophical way of viewing the world. They value beauty, okay? They value harmony. They're very aware of the community as a whole and how the community as a whole feels about communication and relating with one another. Libra is the sign of Venus, okay? Libra and Taurus. So very much when I talk about Libra, I'm talking about Venus as a whole, and this is why when you go about learning about Venus in astrology, the signs that you should study most should be Venus and should just be predominantly Libra, the energy of Libra, and the energy of Taurus, because these are the natural energies of Venus. So let's talk about how does the Venus and Libra person go about obtaining what they go about attaining. So Libra embodies the energy of the strategist. How Libra views the world is very much in a way where they're going to look at it like a chessboard, okay? Let's say they are one of the pieces on this chessboard, okay? You are a piece on the chessboard. The friend is a piece on the chessboard. The mother and the father is a piece on the chessboard. It's going to get a grounded understanding as to what each piece is and what's their situation in life and how are they positioned on this board. And then Libra is going to go about beautifying their position, making sure that their position is at the highest it can be so that it's able to influence other characters on the board. And then Libra is going to go about getting what they ultimately want to obtain in that game. So Libra goes about life in a strategic way. And the important thing to understand about Libra is that Libra always has an ultimate goal, an ultimate agenda, and a very much a self-envisionment of what they want and how they see themselves. It's important to understand that when we are talking about Libra, that yes, they are going to be very communicative and they're going to want to have conversations with you and they're going to want to really get close to you and connect with you conversationally. But to really and to deeply understand Libra and why it is that they do this, because Libra is a very challenging placement to understand. A lot of it has to do with the charm. A lot of it has to do with the fact that Venus as a whole is about casting a spell or an illusion on its person. So Libra is a difficult placement to understand because it's very difficult to get past the surface of what we ultimately see of Libra, okay? But the truth is about Libra is that Libra is very, very strategic. It's very, very mental. And it's very much looking at the situation. When they go about situations, they're looking at it from a self standpoint. They already know what they ultimately are looking to obtain in a situation separate. Okay? Separately. And so then they're going to want to come into conversation or unity with you. And it's going to be how to be able to see how you are playing the game. Okay? So that they can get a better view as to how they're looking on your game board that you're playing. You understand? Libra is a person where when you are in a relationship with them, you have to very much know yourself, and it's important to ultimately have a strategy of your own. That's what they're attracted to be honest. They're attracted to people who know the value of influence. I'm going to kind of explain a little bit more on that. Now, let's say you go to an event. Let's say you go to a wedding. And maybe you dress a little provocatively at that wedding. Now that you've done that, you've put yourself in a position where you're not probably going to be able to get the most value you want to get out of that situation. Because now other people have created a storyline in their mind as to what you're like based off of your dress code, okay? And how, and they're now perceiving you in a way that is completely out of your control. And isn't that unfair? Well, that was a consequence of that decision. And so maybe you should have reevaluated how you weighed that option. Now, Libra is very much aware of situations like this when they're dealing with people. They're very much aware that people are going to create their own storyline as to how you are. So it's very important that they are positioned balanced in that situation so that they have as much control over themselves in that situation as possible. They want to be treated fairly. And they want, when they're in a relationship with somebody, they want to be treated fairly by them. Okay? So they're looking for people who have a high understanding of the community. The community's perspective of what is professional, of what is beautiful, is what is relatable. They're looking for somebody who intellectually can understand this type of decorum and way of going about situation. The aura that they're going to present is going to be very much of a polite, a pleasant, a pleasing, a likable energy. Libra itself, the archetype of Libra, embodies what it means to be likable. Not likable in the sense that, everybody has an opinion and an ultimate preference as to what they like, right? But there's an actual certain behavior, right? Like maybe smiling a lot, maybe just saying only compliments, saying only positive things. There's a way of behaving that is just naturally likable, right? So Libra is going to embody that energy as a whole, because that energy as a whole is very powerful energy that can, it definitely, once you have got a good grounding as to how to use Libra energy, you're going to be able to strategize and go about life and have grace and ease, okay? Because this is just the normal etiquette of situations and relating with people, okay? Now, when we also are going into Libra, we have to also discuss justice. We have to discuss the fact that this is a person where they very much want equality and justice for all. Okay? Now, you're going to notice that when they have conversations with you, they may say something like, well, you know, that's not very fair, or that's not necessarily right. Okay? This is a person which views things in a judgment type of way. Not judgmental necessarily negative. We look at judgment and we say that that's a negative thing to do. But no, they look at things from a stance of, is this fair? Is what you're saying fair? If it's not, then that's not them, and that's not something that they're going to want to be a part of. Okay? Or they're going to try to change it so that it is more fair and more equal to everyone. So ultimately, this is why Libra tends to be very successful in relationships. Okay? Now, in my part 2, that's going to be more on Venus and Libra. That's going to be coming out tomorrow. Okay? So you guys will be able to come back on my channel and see that video uploaded at 12 noon tomorrow. Okay? I hope you guys liked it. And please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Okay? In the comments down below. And yes, I can't wait. There's so much more to talk about. Libra is really hard to explain.